What the city is talking about. This is Montreal Now on News Talk Radio, CJAD 800.
Will you be calling an election this weekend?
The first person who will know whether the recommendation to call an election, it will be the Governor General as for a convention. In this time of crisis, the government needs a strong and clear mandate. We're offering a positive vision for the country, a vision of action. You can see the action that's happened. I haven't been Prime Minister for a week yet, and you can see what we've done thus far. We can do even more with that strong and clear mandate to move forward for the country, for all Canadians.
With all due respect, Mr. Carney, a simple yes would have been fine. It's starting to sound a little Justin Trudeau-esque, I think. James Mennie, Montreal Gazette, is on the line. Jim, so it's official, the worst kept secret, as they say in the country. There will be an election call on Sunday.
Absolutely, and it's going to be fascinating to see how all of this is going to unfold. It is going to be the exact opposite of 2015. 2015, Harper called, I think it was 78 days. It was the siege of Troy. This is going to be quick and dirty. As I told you on my scheduline, this election campaign is going to be like the perfect martini, short, dirty and dark, and nasty, and just absolutely. I'm telling you, strap in, because even now you can tell, like the tone that Poilievre is taking, the whole issue of ethics. What does Carney have to hide? You can guarantee, you can take it to the bank. The Liberals will fire back. Why has Pierre Poilievre avoided over and over again receiving any kind of security clearance? What does he have to hide? Ugly finger pointing. Of course, there's going to be probably some piping up from the Conservative caucus, which has basically been gagged for the past few years on various social issues. But the bottom line here is, once again, the main issue, even though the name will never appear on party literature, even though it won't be on signs, it won't be on the ticker tape when we're running updates of the election campaign. This is a Donald Trump election. End of story. He will be the main issue. He will be the governing force on which way the next government is going to go. And indeed, even now, the contest has begun with and we talked about this yesterday, with the two main contenders essentially saying, well, no. Donald Trump hates me more, and it seems a bit surreal, Aaron, but that's where we are. And indeed, I know you said it sounds a bit Justin Trudeau-esque, that kind of convoluted answer, and yet on the other hand, this is in keeping with at least the persona he's been projecting this week, which is I go by the book, I go by the numbers, I have respect for Parliament, which is because the whole idea was how dare you assume the leadership of the Liberal Party, become Prime Minister without a seat in the Commons. So this is going to be put behind him. Of course he's going to call an election on Sunday. That way he doesn't have to go back to the House. The prorogation was over on Monday. So everything is going to sort of like click into place. But here's the real challenge for the rest of us, which is how can we, in this day and age of instant information, keep abreast of everything that's going on? Because I would imagine all three major parties are going to try and throw some fast ones at us between now and April 28th, which is very likely the election day. And this is for all the marbles. I mean, certainly for the NDP. The NDP, I got to tell you, may be staring at oblivion at the end of this, which is what a change that was from 2015 when they were originally perceived as a government in waiting. And for the Conservatives, there is going to be, if they don't win this one, if they don't win a majority government, there is going to be, I think, a lot of soul searching at the grassroots level of what I like to refer to as, small C Conservative Canada, and whether or not this ongoing affiliation with Stephen Harper and what is in fact the Reform Party Canadian Alliance coalition can continue to coexist in Canada's present political atmosphere. Because honestly, at this point, if they lose for a fourth time in a row, they're essentially handing the keys to government to the Liberals simply because the essence of the product is something that Canadians clearly do not want.
Jim, how long can the Conservatives, can Pierre Poilievre ride this ethics horse? This, he hasn't disclosed everything. Is that good enough to run through a campaign?
No, absolutely not. And to a certain extent, I got to tell you, This is a short campaign is good news for Poilievre because he doesn't have that many arrows in his quiver, Aaron. And you and I have talked about this in the past, long before even Carney was on the scene, that sooner or later there would be a reckoning. And when the entirety of your political existence, your political rationale, your raison d'etre is Justin Trudeau is responsible for everything bad in this broken country, and then all of a sudden you've got to hit the brakes, switch gears, and change direction, that is going to be going to put a lot of strain on the Conservative machine. Yes, I know they raised money hands over fist, but in the end, whether you have $100 million or just $1 million, if you win the hearts and minds of somebody based on what they just saw for 2 seconds on a website, what they heard on the radio, what they may have seen, a clip they may have seen on TV, if that's where it's turning, you can have all the money you have is of no advantage. In the end, it is going to be, I hate to say it this way, a contest between two personalities, Mark Carney, Pierre Poilievre, and I say this with all due respect to Jagmeet Singh, but I when you're down to single digits in the polls, I don't think he'll be there, but I don't think he's going to be a real contender. And the thing is, and that's why I say this is going to be so dirty, because it's going to be personal. It's going to be about personalities. It's going to be about each one being the personification not only of their party, but of what vision that party has for this country going down the road. Right now, the Conservatives clearly are scrambling, but the Liberals should not get smug, and Liberals do have a habit of getting smug. They shouldn't get smug over this simply because the minute, and you sort of alluded to that even when we came in on the show, Aaron, the minute the Liberals begin to echo or exude, how can I put it, Trudeau-esque tendencies, the Conservatives will jump on that like a hawk. And I think it's inevitable that at some point it's going to happen. The question is, how severe will that lapse be, and will it cost them votes on voting day?
So, I have a chance to talk to Stephen Guilbeault. I think we're going to run that interview tomorrow or the next day. So here's now the Quebec lieutenant, right, for this Mark Carney government. And you kind of wonder if someone like that can actually kind of walk in here as a native Quebecer, right? And he's been a Quebecer his whole life. I mean, he's spent enough time here. We take him that way. How tough a job do you think that is for this Liberal Party?
Well, for Steve Guilbeault, it's going to be very, very hard because let's face it, Pierre Poilievre was making noises today about reintroducing the Saguenay liquid natural gas project, which didn't have any social acceptability in those pre-Trump days, but apparently may go in like a dirty shirt right now. And guess what? As the Quebec lieutenant, he's going to have to be the salesman. Yes, that's right. The former environmental activist is going to have to be the sales rep for an LNG project going, having that liquid natural gas pumped up to the Saguenay, to a processing plant in the Saguenay, transshipped onto freighters and coming down the fjord to the St. Lawrence for sale overseas. This was completely unheard of. And in the meantime, here we have a suddenly chastened, rather circumspect, and perhaps a bit nervous Francois Legault, who once said quite famously or infamously, I do not want to have, Alberta's dirty energy, who, well, maybe he wouldn't mind getting his hands a little bit grubby in this day and age, given what the challenges that we're facing from the United States. So it's going to be a fascinating campaign from the view of the issue of environmentalism, Aaron, because I think for the first time, it's not going to be a matter of who's more green, but rather who is willing for the greater good to be a bit less green and to have those less than green projects sprouting up across the country in reaction to a suddenly changed, economic balance that this nation has profited from for generations. So, yeah, I think that's going to be another fascinating angle on this campaign.
By the way, I love what you said. I think that's so great, that line in an election campaign between Pierre Poilievre and Mark Carney, who Donald Trump hates more. That's who ends up winning. I think that's great.
Oh, believe me, and don't kid yourself, Aaron. They're going to be dragging their coats over the campaign. They will find a way to make sure, and Trump is as predictable as a toddler, right? Trump, if you say something that will get a rise out of Trump, you'll get a rise out of Trump. And frankly, if you get a rise out of Trump and it gets picked up, obviously on perhaps worldwide media, guess what? That's another,
Yeah.
5-6 points in the
Yeah.
poll?
Yeah.
It's easy money.
Going to be very, very interesting to watch, and I guess we should be thankful for that, right? So there you go. James Mennie over at the Montreal Gazette. Thank you, Jim.
Matt.